Hello, hi everybody. It's Colleen with Chalk Couture. How's everybody doing tonight? Coming in, we're going to do a canvas project tonight. I'm just going to go ahead and get my iPad started. In case anybody's on. I'm sorry, it's just going very slow tonight. Here we go. Okay. I just want to share this real quick and then we will be on our way. There we go. Okay. So if you are watching the replay, hello. Tonight, as I mentioned, we're going to be working on canvas. So I have just an old, not old, it's new, piece of canvas that I got from Michael's. And I'm going to do we're going to see how this is going to come out because I'm just completely experimenting and ad-libbing tonight. So my thought was to do the herringbone pattern in gray. And then use the, have yourself a merry little Christmas over top of it. Not quite sure how this is going to work. If I'm going to have problems with the first layer pulling up on canvas, I don't know. But there is a trick that I've heard of waxing in between layers. And I'm thinking to myself, if ever there was a case to wax in between, it might be on canvas. So let's just dive right in. You can see I've used this pattern before. I've got remnants of my acorn and my leaf on here, but it's okay. My silkscreen area is completely clear. I actually did cut a snippet of this off and made little packets out of it. So what we need to do for the very first thing we need to do when we're working with canvas, we need to like put a towel underneath. And I'm actually going to grab 2 towels, I think. Just that helps it from like bouncing around when you are chalking on it. So I'm just literally just tucking my towels. Hi, Stacy. Tucking my towels inside the canvas, and that kind of prevents it from bouncing around. So now we've got, that shouldn't go anywhere. So what I'm going to do, how are you, Stacy? I think we're pretty good. So we're just going to take the herringbone pattern. And I'm not really worried about fuzzing this up too much because I am using it on canvas. It just really depends on the surface that you're using your transfers on. So if I'm inking on different textiles, I usually don't fuzz because I want a very good adhesion between the transfer and whatever medium I'm using when I'm inking. So if I'm using it on like a onesie or kitchen towels or something like that, or even one of our big pillows, I would not fuzz my transfer. Same with canvas. I don't really fuzz my transfers for canvas because of the surface that it is. I don't think I'm going to have a problem getting it off. I do remove when it's a larger transfer like this. How are you, Stace? When it's a larger transfer like this, I do remove the carrier sheet from the, oh, now my hand is stuck. Let me get my other hand in here. Okay. I do remove the carrier sheet like that. I don't flip it and try to pull the carrier sheet off because this is sticky. You don't want it to stick to itself. This is the shiny side of our carrier paper, and this is the back. It's paper. So that's why we label back on here, so that I know when I'm done, sticky side is going to go to shiny side. I'm just going to put it right back on so that I can use it for multiple projects. So I'm just going to do my best to center this a little bit so that I'm getting a nice pattern all over the canvas. And like I said, I am totally winging it tonight, so we're going to see how this is going to work. So I'm just pressing all around, trying to make sure that I don't have any bubbles anywhere. I'm hanging in there, Stace. I can't complain. So I feel like that's pretty good. I'm not feeling any bubbles. This is going to bounce a little bit, but the towel should help somewhat. So I'm going to actually go ahead and use my angled squeegee. Let me get this out of here real quick. This was my stirry stick. I had it in here because I was looking for the consistency of yogurt with my chalk paste. And once I gave that a stir right before I came live, I stirred it to that nice consistency so that it will go nicely right over my project. So I am going to grab a large amount and plop this down. And whatever I do not use, I can put right back into my jar, so no worries. I just made a big mess though. Okay, so I'm going to use this side of the squeegee and just kind of pull it all over the canvas. I'm just pulling, see how that pulls straight down? And as I apply a little pressure, I'm picking up some more of that chalk. See how when I do that, it pulls up some of the chalk again. And hopefully I didn't just ruin it by pushing too hard. That's the other thing I was going to mention. Don't put too much pressure on, because then it's going to start moving your transfer off of the canvas. I'm going to grab some of this. And that's really all there is to it. All I am doing is covering all of the silkscreen area. Trying to get every little bit here. Get into these corners. Like that. I feel like there might have been a bubble in there, but I'm not too worried about it, because the other cool thing with this is my background. And if I'm not thrilled with how it came out, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to sand it a little bit and make it a little distressed looking. So if it doesn't come out perfect, don't worry about it. It doesn't have to be perfect all the time. I always say that. I'm just going back over, trying to get some of these lines out and getting some of this excess chalk and bringing it over here to this side. And then I just do a lighter coat with my squeegee, just to try to get those lines out of there. Okay, and then we'll just finish up this section over here. I'm trying to work rather quickly because it is chalk paste. It does go on wet, and it is going to dry hard kind of quickly. So you do need to work pretty quickly when you're working with the chalk paste. Just trying to get this to all sides of our canvas here. Again, I'm trying not to pull too hard, because I don't want to, I can see where there might be some bubbles, but I'm not going to worry about that. Let's just bring this all the way down and all the way across our bottom here. Okay, now I'm just going to try to get some of that excess and scoop that right back into my jar. And then as I go lighter, it's going to take those lines out. Okay, so that should do it. Let me get all that excess right back in there. The background color is going to use a little bit more chalk paste than one of our, our normal everyday transfers. Let me just grab paper towel, because I did get some of that chalk paste on my finger. That will remove with water, so no worries. And then we're just going to pull this back and cross our fingers. Trying to apply even pressure as I go, and yep, I can definitely see that it bled through in some areas because of the bouncing, but again, I'm not really worried about that. I'm going to dry this, and then I might lightly sand it. Let me just run this transfer to my sink real quick. Okay, I just want to get that into the sink so that can soak, because my pan of water is not quite big enough to hold that. So let's dry this real quick. And again, like I said, I'm not worried that I did have some bleeding, and that was my fault for pushing down too hard. You can see this side where I didn't push down as hard. This side I got a little carried away. So that's where it bled through over here. The side came out a lot better from not applying too much pressure. And this should dry fairly quickly on canvas, I hope. And I'm hoping to be able to get to the second part. And that's putting the transfer over top. But I need to make sure that this is really good and dry before I proceed. Because whenever you're layering your transfers, the bottom layer needs to be good and dry. I want to just take just a quick break here. I want to get my chalk paste covered, especially with my hair dryer or my little heating tool going here. I don't want to dry out my chalk paste, so I want to get my lid back on there real quick. We just make sure that we keep the lids on there so that doesn't dry out our chalk paste. Let's see. I can definitely see it's still a little wet. I don't want to press too hard. Yeah, I'm just going to have to heat it just a little bit longer. Good. Feeling pretty dry. Hello, Sherry. So I'm kind of wanting to do this, and I'm a little nervous to do it, but I figured, you know what? Tonight was a complete experiment, and you see I did goof already, but I'm going to, even though I said I wasn't going to use this thing again, it's all that I really have. So I'm going to try to use it, and we're going to see what happens. It's a sanding block that's actually for drywall. I used it when I sanded off some chalkboard paint on gift tags that I made, and it worked okay. But when I tried to use it on our box frame, when I had a little goof, I smeared the paste. So I'm kind of concerned that I'm going to smear the paste, but I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to do it down here at the bottom. So we'll kind of see what happens here, if I'm smearing or not. Doesn't look like it's smearing. I'm going to go for it. I'm just trying to make it look a little distressed. I'm not going to be able to cover up the boo-boos that I made over here, but I'm just trying to kind of tone down some of the gray on here. So I'm going to lean it on my leg for a minute so I can apply a little bit more pressure. All that I'm trying to do is just, like I said, just tone down some of the gray. Let me try this side. That is kind of starting to smear it there. So I think it's that side of my block. Let me go back to this side. Oops, I'm going to wind up knocking my iPad over. May not do that. I definitely need to invest in some better sandpaper. That's going to have to be number one on my list. Alright, I'm going to leave it at that. I feel like that made it just a little bit toned down. Ugh, now I'm going to grab a paper towel because that's got dust all over it. Hey Mandy, how are you? Let me get some of that off. Okay. I'm kind of hoping that the design I'm going to put on top is going to hopefully hide some of my mistakes here. But it does give it that kind of distressed look that I was looking for. Just gonna kind of do a little more here. Alright. So that toned down some of the gray a little bit. Let's get that off. Now we're gonna go ahead and put our second layer on. And I feel like this is good and dry now, so I feel pretty good with putting my second layer on. And as I had mentioned earlier, I was concerned on canvas with layering. I mean, I've done it before, but I just wasn't sure. So I'm not going to do the leaves on here because they kind of go off. I'm just going to do the Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. And that fits perfectly on my canvas. And I'm going to do that with just all red. I'm going to keep it nice and simple for tonight. So let's go ahead. I need to get this red stirred up so it's got a real nice yogurt-like consistency. Gonna need a good amount of this because everything on here is going to be red. And so there we go. I'm actually going to spritz just a tiny scotch of water into there and then give it another stir, and that's going to thin it out just a little bit more too. Okay, so now I'm going to return my towels to underneath here just to act as a little buffer. It does sort of help the bouncing a little bit. So we'll get those towels kind of tucked in there, and then we'll flip it again. Get this out of my way. Okay. I feel like I got all the dust off of there. It feels so smooth. It feels kind of neat. Oops, I just dropped my transfer on the floor. Ugh. Let me reach down and grab that. Okay. Again, I've used this. You can tell it's got staining on it, but it's perfectly fine. I have it labeled on the back, Merry Christmas, and because it is a larger one, I am going to remove the carrier sheet in this fashion instead of the other way around. And boy, that's sticky. Even though I've used it a few times, it's still got its good stickiness, so we are in business. Remember, these are reusable silkscreen adhesive transfers that can be used. I want to move that because my dryer's a little hot. That can be used, we guarantee between 8 and 12 uses out of our transfers. But if you are taking good care and cleaning them properly and making sure that you are, when you clean them, that you soak them in water for just a little bit, helps to get the chalk out of the silkscreen area. And then your final step will be to clean it with a disinfectant wipe, and that will get all of that chalk paste out of your silkscreen area and also clean up your transfer for you. So let's grab some of this red. I'm actually going to do this method where I'm just going to use my stirry stick, plop down some color all over. This is another way that you can do it. Again, I'm not worried about the leaves, whatever they're called, holly branches I think they're called. We're just going to go with just the words. Oops, I probably should not have done that because I'm forgetting that the red dries pretty quick. I'm trying not to apply too much pressure. That's how I screwed up my background, because on canvas you can't really press down too hard to remove your chalk paste, because it kind of pulled up my transfer a little bit. We obviously don't want that to happen, so I'm just kind of trying to be careful how I'm pulling it, pushing the color down. And I'm not bouncing too much and removing my transfer. All right, let's get some more on here. A little bit more over here. And a little bit more over here. Then we should be good. Just try not to hit that holly over there. I think that's what that is. Holly or evergreen, I'm not sure. I'm not a good flower tree person. I don't know the difference. Okay. Almost done, guys. That was pretty easy. And this was, like I said, just a last minute, like, what project could I do tonight? And I saw I had an extra canvas. So I thought, let me try this. And we'll experiment together and see how it comes out. I feel like I got everything covered. I hope I did. Oops, I missed a little piece of my Y. Don't hit the berry. Okay, I think I got it covered. Don't have a lot of excess, but the little bit that I do is going right back into my jar. And then we will remove. Fingers crossed that it doesn't pull up any of the gray. Looks like it might have started to dry a little bit, but yay! That came out pretty awesome. I'm really happy with that for like a last minute, don't know what I'm going to do project tonight. Let me just stick my transfer to my desk till I can get it to my sink. Oh my goodness. Can you guys see that? It is a little busy. It looks a little bit better in person because I can see it in the iPad and it is kind of busy. But it looks really, really good in person. I really like how that came out. So let's dry it real quick. Oh, thanks for the thumbs up. This will be dried in no time. Like I said, canvas dries so super fast. And I think it looks kind of vintagey with my boo-boos in the back on the houndstooth. I kind of like it. I like it like that a lot. Oh, thanks for the hearts. Yeah, that really, I'm pleasantly surprised with tonight's project. I went into tonight going, this could either be a hot mess or I can really like it. And glad to say I like it. So I thank you for hanging in there with me tonight for this spontaneous ad lib project here. And if you would be so kind, if you're not currently a designer and you would like to share this video, I would truly appreciate it. It helps to get the Chalk Couture love out there. And hello, Mary. And also, if you are interested, I have a VIP group where I run, I'm just going to show you how I can get this chalk paste off my fingers real quick. I have a VIP group where I run specials. And if you're interested in finding out more about that, I could add you to my VIP group. Just type VIP below. See how that came right off with no problem, just with water. So if you'd like to be added to the VIP group, just type VIP below. And if you enjoyed what you saw tonight and think, oh my goodness, I can do this. I can make awesome Chalk Couture projects. 0 skill level required. Just type me below and I would be happy to reach out to you about the awesome perks and incentives and commissions and every awesome thing that goes with becoming a designer. Just type me below and I will go ahead and add you to my opportunity page where I have posts. It's a separate page just that has all posts that you can read at your leisure. That tells you all about the perks and incentives and everything that comes with being a designer. And shows you a sample picture of the kit that is $99 and has over $240 worth of product in it. So again, thanks so much and have a fantastic rest of your night. I will talk to you guys later. Bye.